I didn't find out right away. That's the part that still keeps me up at night. If he had confronted me the moment he found out, if he had yelled, thrown my phone, demanded answers, maybe I could have faced it head on. Maybe I would have ended it sooner. Maybe things wouldn't have gotten as bad as they did. But he didn't. He didn't do any of that. Instead, he stayed quiet. And somewhere in that silence, he became me. Daniel and I had been married for 7 years. 7 years isn't short. It's not new or fragile. It's long enough to build something real. And long enough for that something to quietly start falling apart without you even noticing. From the outside, we looked solid. We had a house in a quiet neighborhood, stable jobs, predictable routines. We weren't the couple people worried about. We were the couple people assumed would last. And that's probably why I didn't notice when things started to change. Because nothing broke. There was no big argument, no dramatic moment where everything fell apart. It was slower than that. Quieter, more subtle. We stopped talking the way we used to. Not completely, just less. Conversations turned into updates. How was work? Fine. What do you want for dinner? I don't care. We stopped asking deeper questions, stopped checking in emotionally, stopped being curious about each other, and eventually we stopped trying. At first, I told myself it was normal, that this is what long-term relationships become. Comfortable, routine, stable. But over time, that comfort started to feel like something else. Something heavier. Something empty. And I didn't know how to fix it. So instead of trying, I looked for something that made me feel different. That's when I met Ryan. He worked at a partner company, and we were assigned to the same project for a few weeks. The first time we really talked, I noticed it immediately. The way he looked at me. Not casually, not politely, but like he was actually paying attention. "You seem like someone who's holding back," he said. I laughed it off. But it stuck, because no one had said anything like that to me in a long time. After that, we started talking more. At first, it was just about work. Then small jokes. Then longer conversations. Then personal things. And before I realized what was happening, I was looking forward to those conversations more than anything else in my day. That should have been the moment I stepped back. The moment I set a boundary. The moment I reminded myself that I was married. But I didn't. Because it felt good. Really good. The shift from just talking to something more didn't happen all at once. It built slowly. Flirting disguised as jokes. Late-night messages that went a little too long. Conversations that got a little too personal. And then one night, it crossed the line. I remember sitting in my car afterward, gripping the steering wheel, staring straight ahead. I knew exactly what I had just done. I knew I had just crossed a line I couldn't uncross. And for a brief moment, I considered ending it right there. Cutting it off. Going home. Telling Daniel everything, trying to fix what I had just broken. But I didn't. Because a part of me didn't want to let it go. Because for the first time in a long time, I felt something. So I kept going. The affair lasted 4 months. 4 months of lies. Of carefully crafted excuses. Of living 2 completely different lives. At home, I was Daniel's wife. Predictable, routine, familiar. But on my phone, I was someone else. Someone more exciting. More wanted. More alive. I got good at it. Too good. Deleting messages, clearing notifications, keeping conversations hidden, making sure nothing overlapped. I convinced myself I was in control. That I could manage it. That no one would ever find out. And Daniel, he never questioned anything. He didn't check my phone. Didn't ask where I was going. Didn't seem suspicious. If anything, he seemed the same as always. Calm, quiet, steady. Looking back now, that was the biggest warning sign. Because Daniel wasn't unaware. He was watching. I just didn't know it yet. The first thing that felt off was small. So small I almost ignored it. Ryan's messages started feeling different. More intense, more direct. Less like the casual tone we had built over months. At first, I thought it was just him getting more comfortable. But then I noticed something else. Messages sent at times I didn't remember texting. Responses I didn't remember writing. Phrases that didn't sound like me. One night, I opened our conversation and saw a message that made my stomach drop. Last night made everything worth it. I stared at it, because I hadn't sent that. Not like that. Not in those words. I scrolled up, and my chest tightened. There were entire parts of the conversation I didn't remember. Details I didn't remember sharing. Plans I didn't remember agreeing to. My heart started racing. Something wasn't right. That's when I heard Daniel's voice behind me. "You look confused." I froze. Slowly, I turned around. He was standing there, watching me, calm, composed, like he had been waiting for this exact moment. "Daniel," I said, my voice barely steady. "Did you go through my phone?" He didn't answer right away. He just walked over, sat down across from me, and then said the words that made everything fall into place. "I've been replying for you." The room felt like it tilted. "What?" "I found out a few weeks ago," he said, "and I wanted to see what would happen." My hands started shaking. "You pretended to be me?" He nodded. "For about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks of messages. 3 weeks of conversations. 3 weeks of him watching everything unfold. From my side." "Why would you do that?" I asked. He leaned back slightly. "Because I wanted to see who you really were when you thought I wasn't watching." That hit harder than anything else. "You could have just asked me," I said. But even as I said it, I knew it didn't matter. He gave a small shake of his head. "No," he said, "because you would have lied." And I couldn't argue with that. He picked up my phone again, scrolled through the messages. "You told him things you never told me," he said quietly. "You made plans with him. You talked about leaving." My stomach dropped. "I didn't mean—" "But you said it," he interrupted. And that was the problem. He set the phone down. I needed to see how far it would go. There was a long silence. "So what now?" I asked. Daniel looked at me, and I saw it. Not anger, not sadness, just certainty. "I've already filed for divorce." Everything inside me collapsed. "What?" "I filed last week." "You didn't even talk to me first?" There was nothing left to talk about. Tears started forming in my eyes. "I can fix this," I said. "We can fix this." But the words felt empty the moment I said them. Daniel stood up. "I already know everything I need to know." And that was it. That was the moment I finally understood. It wasn't just that I cheated. It wasn't just the lies or the betrayal. It was that when he became me, he saw everything I had chosen to be. Every message, every decision, every version of myself I thought I was hiding. And once he saw that, there was nothing left worth saving.